breathing hot air. It doesn't.
I put all of the notice for meetings that we haven't had since. And honestly, I don't know if we're gonna do anything. I'm fine with that, because I don't really have anything to say.
I think we can just be like, if anyone wants anything if you have anything specific you want to say regarding your committee, we'll send the reports in a separate email.
Well, like,
Design
chance,
committee stuff is on there,
yeah.
the big thing, the residential is on there, chances is on there.
Chance isn't here? So Chance is.
He was gonna try and make it, but, he said he got like 14 orders today. So to update you, basically, we did the same thing that they did last time.
I know.
We are tachycardic, which is very good. Heart rate is
Oh my
fine.
gosh.
And then,
Good morning, how are y'all?
Good, how are you?
Ooh,
Chilly
this,
in here.
do you see this one chair with the sunlight? I
That's
just
what
made,
I knew.
made the mistake of looking at that.
Have you guys followed up with Angela yet on the notes from the marketing meeting for the rat cards?
no, they sent an email yesterday.
Yeah, okay. Are you the one doing that, Michelle, or are you gonna do that? Okay.
I haven't done anything with Antoine yet.
Okay.
So, should you get Katie emailed us yesterday?
It's okay. I think we need to talk about when Michelle's out too, like, just like, yeah, like, I'd be fine if you said that we have to. I mean, you have the notes, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, why can't Dara just do that?
She can.
Yeah, do that. Let's start doing that, so we can transition, because you're not gonna, I'll show you.
Can I turn
That'd
the
be
heat on?
awesome. Is that one of the new ones?
That, fairly, from a few months ago.
I gotta find my name that
yeah.
Felicia gave me.
Mary, you were fitted today. You look very good.
Thank you. I have to wait here to for their office video. So I gotta be, if I'm not presenting a color palette, I wear bright colors. If I'm presenting a color palette, I wear something that's neutral to it, or that works with it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you not think I look cute today? I was like,
hot pink
I-
is my favorite
I was
color,
like,
so-
Michelle, I'm coming straight from PT. I'm gonna have new makeup on and I'm gonna be in workout clothes.
Hot pink's my favorite color though, so.
I know, I got so many, I had to do all, I had surgery on Monday. And I had to do all this pre-op work this past week. And all these ladies were like, I love your jacket in the diagnostic center.
Yeah, I think we should all be wearing more hot pink
I
instead of
agree.
pastel pinks.
Yeah, I agree.
Girly.
Red used to be my color, and then my stylist wouldn't bring me any red, she'd bring me all hot pink, and I'm like, she goes, it's a softer shade of red.
It is.
Good morning.
They're in the same tonal family.
Yeah. I just turned the heater on, so.
I'm gonna do something different today. That sun will be burning my skull.
This right here is like, I can't even look at y'all coming in the door.
Whew.
John's not here
Not yet.
today?
Oh, wait, I'm thinking I'm the chairman. I'm thinking this is my meeting,
Well,
my
you can.
committee.
You can.
No,
Go-
I need
go
to
for
move
it, man.
I'm thinking this is my committee meeting.
I want to get my head out of that sunlight.
Sitting
I'm
in
glad you go over there on the other side of John. People think we date too much. Allison and Jeff like to watch the meetings and then they like to harass me later. It's kind of our joke. Oh, well, aren't they fun?
They're fun.
Of course, I didn't know Owen was supposed to have nails done, so they clip on in surgery, but I was like, they're like, we'll just move your polish. I was like,
Okay.
to clip my ear. You're gonna have to clip my ear. They're like, okay, whatever. High maintenance chick. I was like, I didn't get my, she was like, did you get your toes done? Because Rhonda Lambert's my nurse and I was like, no, I'm not that dumb.
We need to see if Lane can squeeze in a cleaning of the apartment upstairs before appliances come next week, period. They'll probably need to take the shop vac and vacuum up all the debris from construction and also mop the floors really well.
Stein's morning. He only woke it up if Apollo goes and gets in the bed with him. And you know, I won't let him on my furniture, except he sleeps in, he goes in the bed with my kids. Just got all new bedding for Carson, and I'm like, Carson, he's gonna rip all that bedding. I don't care, I just want him up here with me. He just wants him cuddling, and I'm like,
That's what they are, they're both bird dogs.
yeah,
Were you feeding them more?
yeah,
You know, I got in trouble with my doctor with Cash.
yeah.
She's-
Layla started feeding him twice a day.
Yeah, I mean, he's growing. I mean, look, but he's much taller than Zoe. Like, Zoe's a shorter golden, so like,
Yeah.
I have to really monitor her food. And I've kept her weight off. Like, she was
Yeah.
92 pounds. I got her to 66. And the doctor's like, awesome. But Cash, I can't, like, he woke up this morning, throwing up. I'm like, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, people were staying with me for the first week after I have my surgery on Monday.
And what are you having?
I'm having plenty of surgery.
Oh, you did tell me you were, yeah. How long are you gonna be off?
I mean, he said, I'll be walking in a boot in 3 days. I don't think that's gonna be a reality. Like, our Christmas party's on the 18th, and Kathleen's like, I'll send a limo and a wheelchair for you, because it's at Noma, and I really would love to go, but I'm like, no, like,
When's the surgery?
Monday.
So 15.
Yeah, I had to be there at 6:30, the coldest day.
Check when I get back.
It's gonna be
Where are you
hot.
having it?
North Oak Surgery Center, yeah, and Rhonda Lambert, who's a friend of mine, is
Yeah.
my nurse in Essex. I've already like requested her, and Bruce is doing it. I love him. He's really good. He did Lynn Sherry's. He did both her feet actually. And one of her, one she's had like 4 surgeries. She's like, Kayla, you have to understand, because when I told him, I was like, I'm friends with Lynn Sherry. He's like, oh, I'm not doing that surgery. Because I'm not doing what I did to Layla, because she had like a knot. Mine's just.
How are you feeling?
And it's, 4 more years is gonna be crossing it. So it's like,
Oh my gosh.
the right's not quite as bad. I may never get the right done because I have like major flexibility in it, but I've been doing PT.
But all is well?
I know. I just bought another pair of new tennis shoes.
You need a new tennis.
Oh, yeah,
I
iron
will.
deficiency.
It's gonna be fine.
Food, I mean, seriously.
Well, I'm making my mom's, I'm making taco soup on Sunday night.
That's
and,
from the
like,
pregnancy.
having it
I would
for the
think
week.
so.
Because he's like, you're not gonna eat.
My sister was anemic when she was young too.
And I was like, good.
She had
Lord.
4 kids.
I can't seem to lose it now. Keep playing with the same 15
Oh, it's
pounds.
twins.
I lose 4 and 3 back.
Double the trouble, huh?
So they were actually
And I'm
blood
like,
transfusion.
trying to lose 3 more, and I can't get that 3. I was keeping the 13 off, and I'm like, I just want to get below.
Whatever, yeah.
I just want to get that 3 more.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's not budgeted.
look,
Of course,
it's
I'm
not
not.
enough,
I
I
mean, I'm like, I really need
So
to.
I'm doing iron.
And I'm actually doing that part, and I think that's why I'm not losing right now, because I'm like maintaining, but also, I'm so
Give
stressed
you
out.
energy? Does it help you in some kind of way?
Today, but
Obviously.
I'm gonna be bringing my computer to
Yeah, right, right.
pop-ups, like, I'll be working the whole
It's
time.
end of year, it's crazy.
Well, it is, and it's like, you know, my son's
Gosh.
awful right now, but I have 2 really big.
So who has a
things
history
that
of
kinda, like,
twins?
Get me where I need to be.
We don't know.
Custom bag order,
Yes.
spa, like we print these beautiful retail bags.
Yes.
That's like a $10,000
Well,
order.
you know,
Would be
it's
great.
2 for 1. It's 2 for 1 special at the
It
hospital.
just is what it is.
I'm gonna text John, and is Chase coming?
Chance is gonna try to make it, but he's got.
No, it's for 8:30. We had to change it. Oh, you don't have corn. You didn't want it changed? No, even though specifically in the text message.
Yeah. So when's he gonna be here?
He said in 10 minutes.
Can I just in conversation explain something to these two?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
me, have us all-
well, let me see if they're ready.
Any public input?
Yeah.
The public's like, no, not 8:30 in the morning.
I honestly would be surprised if someone was watching it this early.
Okay, I'm gonna check my email.
I need to go to Home Depot and the car wash after this, period.
Yeah, we're straight.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for Siri to understand my accent. She's not good at it.
Todd,
Yes, ma'am.
so for your board seat, I'll have to get a letter from the mayor for your reappointment,
Which is due when?
in January.
Okay,
Yeah. But I was gonna copy you an email to Charles.
okay.
I just have not had a chance to do all of
This is understandable.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, this is crunch season for us. We've been so busy. I was at a private wine tasting in Lafayette last night for some customers, and I sold 40 cases of wine.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. 40 cases.
That was a good event.
Yeah, it was a good event. Yeah, the season, people buy a lot of stuff during the holidays.
What's your mind?
What's that?
What is your mind?
Wine. It was a wine tasting. They haven't installed the countertops yet, but it looks good overall. And I'm renovating an apartment right now, so, because I needed more things on my plate. That should sound interesting on audio, huh?
I'm so overwhelmed by all my to-dos that I just like sit in silence and I'm like, I can't do anything, I'm crippled. Todd, do you feel like sales have kind of picked up in December versus November?
Yeah, but it's always a little bit later in the month.
Yeah.
In December, so it will, I think it will, yeah. I think we'll beat last year's numbers. Last year was pretty soft in December relative to what we've done in the past.
Right.
But this year, I think we'll bounce back.
Yeah.
The year's been good as a whole, actually, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's been good as a
Yeah,
whole.
that's what I've noticed with a lot of my salons and spas, like November, they had a lot of white space. Like you would think people were gonna be in there, but they're like, they're starting to pick up now.
Our busiest month this year was March, which is really weird because it's never a busy month.
I wonder why.
So far this year, crazy. March, I have no
I wonder
idea.
why, that's so weird.
No idea.
Did we have good weather in March?
Maybe, it must have
We
been.
did.
We had snow in January.
It's not
Right, right,
January.
right.
Yeah, that was the beginning of spring.
March, and I can't figure out the formula for that one, to be honest with you.
And your little, your neighbors over there at the Rosenblum room are adorable.
No, I need to go see it. I'm
They're
gonna go
so
today. Or
kind.
tomorrow
I went
night.
and visited with their,
Awesome.
the owner that's a photographer.
Mm.
She has dark hair. I think the other one doesn't have dark hair. And I can't- But I did go in there and meet her.
All right.
Very sweet.
Good, good. And what is their, I didn't even go see it, to be honest.
It's a lot of interior decor type items. They're gonna be selling wallpaper there.
Oh, neat, yeah.
She's picking up a couple wallpaper
Lines, yeah.
lines,
Okay.
but mostly, she's like, what do you think I should put in here? And I have my best friend has a really amazing home store in Knoxville that's very curated. So I sent her there. She's like, we're gonna have more gifting items, but they have You know, like cute little things for like people that drink tea, like little sets, like gift sets. And then they have lots of floral greenery for arrangements, like you can put on your dining room table.
Yeah, cool.
They have candlesticks, candelabras that are really kind of cool and funky. And ornaments, they've got ornaments.
Fun, yeah.
So they're gonna offer some, I think the other partner is gonna offer interior design, things kind of like my friend Casey does in Ponchatoula. And then they'll have items you can buy, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're
That's fun.
just brand spanking, and I think people are missing them because that's not been anything retail.
And it was a
for very long
weed
time.
shop or whatever it was.
It's weird because I walked in front of it and then I was like, oh my God, I was at Paris Parker doing a pop-up on Saturday and I was like, okay, there it is, I gotta go in there.
Good.
Because to me, Rosenblum's is the library, because I work there.
Right, of course,
In
yeah,
college,
right.
right?
You
So
know, a
that's
lot of
like-
people might think that, though.
Yeah.
And we, our online pipe shop has been blowing and going, by the way. People are buying smoking pipes online.
I'm telling
That
you.
business is booming.
What are we, are you Shopify for that? What are you?
Big commerce,
Okay.
big commerce, yeah.
Shopify's really getting weird. Like, I'm not getting a lot of traction on my website, but I'm my own problem because I have inventory, I get it, we do a pop-up, we sell it, and then I gotta turn around and update inventory, and I'm not fast enough, so I'm like, I literally have done 18 pop-ups, just come to one. Like, they're in Hammond, like, I'm doing them all over, so it's like, I'm gonna be in Mandeville today, and I'm gonna be in Ponchatoula, and that's the last two, and I'm like, I've made it very easy for people to get their hands on stuff, and I'm just like, and then I have surgery on Monday, so I'm like, I gotta get stuff updated this weekend, and then I'll just have to get my little elves to.
Well, that business is so organic. It's not like you can force it to grow. You have to depend
Yeah,
on clicks
yeah.
and algorithms and.
Yeah, and I don't invest, I mean, that's what I do full-time, but I don't invest a whole lot in my Shopify website as far as like out there
Well,
marketing or
I
anything.
spend a lot of time on mine.
Yeah.
You know, we took our pipe collection up to over 1,000 pipes, so we're kind of one of the
Well, you
big.
kinda have to.
We're probably one of the top 5 on the web right now as far as pipe inventory. So.
That's awesome.
So it's selling really, really well. And, you know, when people start searching, and I buy all the weird stuff, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh.
so it's popping up in the algorithm.
Right.
Are you, where's the furthest place you've shipped to? Or the most repetitive place?
New York, New Jersey, that area, and I've done a bunch of stuff on the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, all over the country, really. There's only a few states that you can't ship to. Hawaii is one of them.
But you get a lot of.
Utah's
orders.
another one, because there's laws
Yeah.
that involve tobacco products, yeah, so. But I don't ship to 3 states, yeah.
But so the Northeast is like a popular region for
Been
orders.
doing really well, yeah.
That's awesome.
Better than I thought, yeah. And, you know, all over, California, Arizona, Utah, I mean, just all over the place. It's been fun, so.
That's awesome.
It's fun. It's an interesting element of business. you
It's
know.
kind of fun to see where they go too.
It is,
I kind of
yeah.
like that when I was shipping more bags. Like I said, I've been doing more local stuff, but I'd always be like, well, how did this, and then somebody would be like, oh, I found you from a friend, like it's, you know.
And I've learned the science behind how some of the distributors work too, because DC is one of the big guys, and I'll go in, and all of the stuff that's really popular that they're out of stock on, I'll order it, and it places it on back order.
Yeah.
So automatically when it comes in, mine gets filled and it ships to me, so I've
Yeah.
got the pipes nobody have too, so.
That's
I learned all the tricks of the trade, and I just work it in the background and strong arm it, you know?
Yeah,
It's
that's
been fun.
exciting.
It's doing incredibly well, I'm happy to say. The
How's it
investment has
going?
definitely paid for itself, and it's making a couple of dollars, so that's what we hope for, right?
Yeah, that's what you want. It's gotta stay ahead of the consumer's needs, which is super not fun to
It
predict.
is super challenging, too.
Yeah, it's extremely challenging, because what you think they want, they don't, and then what they do want, you don't have.
It is exactly right.
And then I'm like, well, you just weren't serious.
And I stalk the distributors' websites constantly, so I'm always the first guy to get everything in the marketplace, too, so that helps a lot.
Do you have like a smoking pipe type wholesale convention that happens?
There is a cigar convention, it's called PCA, and that's in
Okay.
April of next year. But pipes, not pipes, that would be a really cool idea, but a lot of the distributors will bring in some
That's what I'm
pipes.
saying, would they bring over
Yeah,
there?
for sure.
Product, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like every industry's got their
Convention.
thing, yeah, like their market per se.
Yep, and that's definitely the case. PCA, Premium Cigar Association. It's fun, we go to it once a year. Spend a lot of money there, so you can have what's ever newest and prettiest, the shiny new penny.
Right. I actually found a shiny new penny on the ground at the gas station yesterday, and I grabbed it. I was like, oh, this
Speaking
is
of
a new penny.
Speaking of which, pennies are going away, by the way.
I know. That's why I grabbed it off the ground. Normally, I wouldn't do that. And I was
The
like,
bank keeps telling me that. They're like, when we run out of pennies, we're not gonna have any more pennies. I'm like, well, I'll figure it out when we get there. Just keep giving me pennies until further notice.
yeah, I know. Like, I normally would not do that because I just don't pick up pennies. And I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like a normal penny. It was a newer penny. So I was like,
Might be one of the last new
I know,
ones
that's why I
made.
grabbed it, because my mom, like, my dad used to collect
Collectible.
things like that, so I was like, I have to grab this for my mom, and I put it in my car. And she'll be like, she's like, I took all my coins to the bank, and da-da-da-da-da.
John Ignatius. All right, you beautiful people.
Good morning. All right. All right, calling meeting to order. Today is Friday, December 12th. It is probably 8:47 a.m. Hammond City Council Chambers. Verification of meeting notice.
It was posted here at our office and online before.
All right, thank you. Roll call.
Avalon,
Here.
Chance Kinchen, Mary Pizzo.
Here.
Caleb Morgan,
Here.
John Sushis.
Here. All right, any amendments to the agenda? Okay. First up, meeting minutes from September 10th.
We need to just approve those. Motion to approve meeting notes from September.
I'll second.
Avalon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchen, Mary Pizzo.
Yes.
Caleb Morgan,
Yes.
John Sushis.
Yes. All right. Financial statements in November, September, October, November.
Michelle, can you go through the November? Are there any highlights on the November one?
So a lot of our deposits for Starry are not reflected in this, but regarding our loans, the Kidmore Photography and Batter LLC have finished their loans. So the active ones that you see listed here are the ones that we have right now. Since it is a USDA program, we did have a little bit of a fluctuation with the government shutdown, but everything with the system is back online now that we have to do for reporting. We did have 2 loans paid off between the last time they met. From a regular fiscal standpoint, this is about 5 months into our budget year. As a reminder, we usually don't see property tax deposits until January, February, so that's why that continues to be a little bit low. And otherwise, everything else here is pretty standard operating.
Do we need a motion to approve?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 financial statements.
Second.
Avalon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchen, Mary Pizzo.
Yes.
Caleb Morgan.
Yes.
John Sushis.
Yes. All right, on to the director's report.
So, for the sake of time, would we like to forego reports to go to new business? Because we have 6 items under new business and 4 of them.
Yeah, can we do that and then at the end, go back to reports if we need to?
Yeah.
You can also send reports in a separate email.
Oh, that would be good. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, so you should just go to new business.
Okay.
Unless there's anyone that wants to share something briefly, but for the sake of.
I'll share the thing about the Tangy spread and the objectives around that and the kind of strategy, just so they're aware when they see it. But we can share that after.
Okay.
Do we need to make an amendment to the agenda to remove it or put it to the back or something?
Do you can make a motion to,
Yeah.
take up new business?
Okay, we make a, okay, we're gonna make a motion to move on to new business.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, notification of open board seat nominations.
Okay, so I think for the last time, we have revised the due dates for the submissions. We do have one potential for largest assessed property by First Guaranty Bank. I have about 80% of their information so far. It's actually Ellen Singer who has moved back to Hammond. So I'm just finishing up submitting their documentation. But we are still looking for someone for a West Side property or business owner seat.
And I had spoken to Vicki Chauvin, and she kept asking me a few questions, but then I never heard anything else from her, so I can follow up with her.
Yeah. So those are the new seats. For regular continuation of appointment. So basically on the council agenda, which will be on January 13th, that is whenever we'll do all the presentation to council for the official appointments. City of Hammond Mayor, Chamber of Commerce, and the East Side seat are all up for renewal. So Mary, for you, all I would need is just those five letters. I have all your other documentation from last
So
time.
I need to get 5 new letters?
Yes.
Okay.
And it can be the same people, just with the updated date.
Okay. And
Um,
that's for the 13th, or when do you need them?
I'll need them by January 8th.
Okay.
And it's been my intention to provide all this notification to you. This is where we're at right now. So basically, Kayla seat and John seat, y'all's terms are through 2026. So that will be business for the top of the year. And really that West Side seat is the only new person that we don't have to fill it.
Okay.
She has, but, I don't need a nomination.
Okay, and familiar again, West Side is just somebody that lives over there, owns on the west side?
Yeah,
I'm
business.
gonna follow up with her right now and see.
Who did you?
Vicki Chauvin.
Okay.
I mean, I also reached out to STOA, that's the largest assess, which we have now, and none of them were interested. I was thinking one of them would be great, but they were not interested.
Just another reminder for you all, if you have not done so already, basically all of the government reporting is due by the ethics reporting is due by the end of the calendar year. So I can send that to you all via email, if you haven't
Please.
done it yet. But just with staff and with board members, we have to do the state ethics training.
Is it annually?
Yes,
Yeah.
And we have to do it by when, the end of the year?
yeah, the 31st.
That's fine.
Okay.
So that's it. for-
Hey, real quick, has anybody talked to, what about the Anna Bayou booksellers?
I've asked her several times, she's just a little stressed.
She's too busy? Okay. She seems like she'd be one to want to be involved, but
She does, but she's kind of.
she works the,
With her events committee capacity.
So for the ethics training, I'm sorry, I don't remember because I've only had to do it once. We just go online to the State Board of Ethics and
There's a
do
link,
it?
you can send us a link.
Yeah, I have a link for it.
Can you send us a link? Yeah. And then what do we do when we're finished? Let you know, or?
I think
It
it
just needs
reports
to be
back.
recorded with the state, and you can send me your certificate, and I keep it on file. You'll get a certificate when we're done. But it's just the standard reminder.
I don't remember having to do it. I mean, I remember doing it in the beginning, but I don't, yeah, so that's fine. Any information, if you can send it, that would be very helpful. Let me go on my calendar.
all right. Next up, the review and approve the contract for land surveys identified at Highway 190 intersections for walkability improvement grant funded by Louisiana Main Street Technical Assistance Grant.
Yeah, I went ahead and put this on here. I did send an email to Mary and John about this. Basically, last year, we got a grant from Louisiana Main Street to improve the intersections along 190. That grant is actually going to be between Holly and Smith and the Louisiana Main Street Managers Association, so we are not pulling the funds to pay Holly and Smith at all. Something that was not included in the scope of work that needs to be done before they can do their work are surveys of all the intersections. So in trying to get that moving along, I did get 3 quotes from local surveyors in our area, and you can see their quotes attached here. Basically, our standard process is to get at least 3 quotes and usually to select the lowest one. Now, I understand there's quite a bit of a price discrepancy between one.
Have we worked with the Kinchin Group before? I have not personally.
I have not worked with them. Ross Kinchin is the owner, and him and his wife own Precious Prince Boutique. And I have worked with them in other capacities, not for land surveying.
Okay, do we have this money budgeted somewhere, or where would this come from in our budget?
So it would come from, I would basically just do an internal administrative budget transfer, more than likely from our sidewalk improvement fund to cover these costs, which related to another item later on for
Right.
the RFP. I believe that with the way that their calendar is running and the way that how we'll have to pay them, we'll still have enough funds within that fund to be able to move things around. I mean, it is an unexpected expense for us, but we can make it work between our sidewalk improvement fund. And, I mean, usually we don't exhaust our facade grant fund. So we also have $5,000 budgeted for lighting, which I don't necessarily foresee using this fiscal year. There's a couple of different smaller line items that we can kind of pull from to do that. So it would not require any major budget ordinance, which would require us to go before the council and pull something out of our savings.
Right, okay, so question, so you said we typically would take the low bid, but is there a reason why you're thinking we wouldn't take the low bid? Here,
Because of the separation, because of the solar separation? Or-
I mean, I guess just with I did make sure that everyone got the same scope of work, so they're all bidding on the same thing. Initially, the preference from Holly and Smith was Andrew Fowler, that's who they put me in contact with. But whenever I saw the cost, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to get 3 quotes for this.
well, in my opinion, I just think because it is an unexpected expense, I think the due diligence would be to take the
Yeah.
lowest bid.
Agreed, yeah.
I mean, it appears that they've got the 10 intersections, it appears that the scope is full, it's based on what was submitted to them.
I mean, I wouldn't see why not. He's got a good reputation as far as I know as a surveyor. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, and he's a downtown business
Yeah.
owner, so, I don't think they're gonna
okay.
do the DDD wrong. So I'd like to make a
Mhm.
motion to award the intersection survey project to the Kinchin Group for $7,500.
Second.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, we're going to review and approve a fee proposal with McKnight Landscape Architects per request for qualifications process of the DDD Infrastructure Master Plan.
Can I speak to this a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what the design committee has been working on for the last couple of months. So we basically put together, worked with Michelle, put together a request for qualifications. We sent it out to 5 or 6 different firms, engineering. We stated that the firms needed to be a team of engineers and landscape architects. And the reason why is because the engineering is going to look at more of the subsurface, underground, things that you don't see, but the landscape architecture is going to look at what you see every day, what you're walking, like the aesthetic of downtown, which we're obviously very concerned about. You need the engineering as well, but we really want to make sure it fits the bill for how we want downtown to look and feel and function. So we sent it out to 6 different teams. We got 3 proposals back. We interviewed all 3, or not proposals, 3 qualification packets back. We interviewed all 3 firms and scored them, and then came back together and voted. And so we voted to award it to McKnight Associates. It's a landscape, led by a landscape architecture firm out of Baton Rouge. And then on their team, they've got Ray Nolan is the electrical engineer, Fox Nesbitt is a civil engineer. So we've all worked with both of them, are very comfortable with them. Just so you know, McKnight Associates did, like in downtown Baton Rouge, the North Boulevard at the big stage. They've done all that. They were working on 3rd Street in downtown Baton Rouge. So some very similar type of spaces with pedestrian access, a lot of events happening, that type of thing. So we then requested a fee proposal from them, which is now what we're presenting to this board. And then Michelle can kind of speak to the funding of this. We were initially talking about using that sidewalk grant money that had not been spent. We had $75,000 there to potentially help pay for some of this. We also talked about speaking with Representative Muscarella about could we use some of the funding from some of those other sources he got from the state that were stated for infrastructure or other things to maybe help offset some of this. We've not talked to him about that yet. Michelle, you haven't talked to him, have you?
No, I do
Yeah.
think that from a budget standpoint though, especially on our timeline, it will probably run into the next fiscal year, and so
Yeah.
we have some wiggle room with that.
Okay.
Within our budget itself, like Mary said, the sidewalk improvement fund that we have $75,000 allocated for, at least for this fiscal year, has not been utilized yet. We did receive one application, but their project won't be
Won't be till the
reimbursed
next-
until the next fiscal year. So with all things considered,
So if you'll see, it's $80,140.
So we don't have to quote, we don't have to get, obviously we want the right people doing this, and if y'all know that these are the right people, but are we supposed to get bids on this too, as far?
Well, no, you're not allowed to. For a professional service, you're not allowed to get pricing. You have to select it based on qualifications for
Oh.
the state.
if it's over a certain amount,
Okay,
Right.
okay,
So originally, we were sending out requests for proposals, and then we realized that we're not allowed to do that legally, so. Right,
So-
you have to select it based on qualifications and then ask for the,
oh,
yeah.
that's unusual,
So it's
I would
handled a
think,
little differently.
oppositely. Well, that's good, okay.
Do you know the amount, if it's over what amount? You know,
I
can't
just
remember.
documented all this and printed all of it.
It's okay.
here.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
whenever you do, let me know, I'm just curious how that works. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like-
basically, there's a threshold for any professional services under a certain amount, you can do the 3 quotes for. And then any this is.
For a larger project,
For a larger
it's based
project.
on your skill, and you get,
Yes, so if it's design services, professional services, you do a request for qualifications. If you are buying materials, supplies, or software, you have to request for proposals. And then if it's anything that's public works related, then that's when you execute the bid process, if it's gonna be over 250,000.
okay, so 250 is when you have to bid it out, after the proposal came
Only
in.
if it is for actual construction, for public work. So there's definitions for all of those
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
I was on the phone.
So we're following the right one?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
following the law.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And then
right.
I think one just thing for context for y'all, obviously, before this point, we've been trying to make sense of all this, the funding that Representative Muscarello has provided to downtown for capital improvements. And it's been hard to align where to direct those funds, how to make sense of it with what the city is doing. So really the goal of this, from a design standpoint, is to have those documents, but also to be able to coordinate and collaborate with the city more effectively on the projects that they're planning and what Representative Muscarello has provided that can happen and what really needs to be done.
Well, and just so I can understand, he has the ability, when he got that money from the state, he has the ability to designate it any way he sees fit? Or did he get it based on a certain designation that he can't amend?
He got it based on a designation, but the designations were a little broad. So
Okay,
one of them
so the
might say
definition-
Infrastructure and drainage. It doesn't say exactly what.
Infrastructure.
It has to be used, what
Okay.
type, where, what infra. Some of them are. Some
Some
of
of
them
them
are
have locations
asphalt
specific.
overlay on Cherry Street from here to here.
Okay.
But there are a couple other ones that are a little more broad.
That maybe you can
That
use the
potentially,
definition.
he was gonna check into that, we probably need to follow up with him on that. But I agree with Michelle, if this all won't be paid within this fiscal year, and we have the rollover, and we had the $75,000 in the sidewalk
Yeah,
fund
yeah,
that
yeah.
we hadn't used.
Right.
I think it's workable, but I do think we need to meet with him and sit down and ask if any of that other, if part of that other funding maybe could help go to this. The other thing about this is we've designated, and the design committee was, we were very specific with what it entailed, and so what Representative Muscarella stated was, if you tell me how much things will cost, I can go get the money, but I need you to tell me, like, the lot next to Kate Street Seafood, if you want to make that a really nice parking mall, and we want to put restrooms or whatever, and lighting and plantings and things, tell me how much that will cost, and I'll get the money, and then the goal is, if one block is going to cost this much, as we know that we can go and keep doing it.
Yeah.
So we have a unit
So we
cost.
almost have to upfront the cost of it and getting the analyzation so we can go get the money.
Correct, so we
Yeah.
need the plan, and the plan would have a high
Right.
level cost so that he could then go get, or we could then go get money to execute it, and it would be a long-term master plan that would kind of go potentially block by block, or as the funds were available. But it's more of a vision so that things can be consistent, and I think it will help the city as well, because it just kind of, and in this proposal is them meeting with us and the city administration as well, so that everybody's kind of on the same page.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is just a review, or do we have to approve
That we need
to pay for it?
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve this proposal and to use the funds from the sidewalk improvements. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah. In order to pay for it?
I'll second. Yes.
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 Can I make one statement about the survey thing, just really quick? I know we passed to approve that, but that's like a 5,000 plus difference in those quotes. So I have a little concern around deliverables. I think I would just reconfirm with that.
And I did, I basically did tell them, I was like, with the scope of work that we've provided, are you sure that you're able to accomplish this? Because we are getting, I let them, I was transparent with all of them, that I have to get 3 quotes from other
Yeah.
businesses.
Okay.
So they were confident that they were able to do it within that amount,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, it's a little,
Well, you know what?
I have a little weird gut feeling about it, but I mean, just, let's roll with it and just see.
Like that he's missing something, or?
Well, just, I mean, how thorough is it gonna be? I mean, that's basically like a profit deficit right there, like,
I mean, I do know he has a good reputation. I mean, just from,
it's $55,000 difference than
I mean, 5,500.
5,500, yeah.
But you wouldn't believe, I mean, I've gotten architect quotes that were all separated by, you know,
I'm just saying,
he's a one-man operation, maybe he has a leaner
well, yeah, he may have
ability.
the overhead or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And just, well, can I just say something FYI, we're talking about this downtown infrastructure. The city, we opened that communication between the city administration and the design committee. They did reach out to us with some improvements they're trying to make on a little parking area. And they did send us the documents and say, hey, here it is, y'all please review it, tell us if you have any input.
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
So
nice.
we reviewed it, we had some comments, we went back and forth a few times, they were very open to.
Good.
And who is that
It
was
was Chuck
communicating?
Spangler's office, the
Okay.
guys
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Alex from his office, and Chuck. And then, it's not the whole design committee, it was Michelle, Roy Dufresh, and Jeffrey. Well, maybe it was the whole design committee. Anyway, it was the design committee, and Michelle and I, we went back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that's good news. That
Yeah,
means
so that was really positive.
the meeting worked.
We thanked them many
Yeah.
times for the collaboration.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Next up is to review and approve cooperative endeavor agreement with Rare Vintage LLC in the city of Hammond to fund up to 1/3 share of eligible costs for sidewalk improvements at 115 South Cypress Street.
Okay, so this basically basically is the formal initiation process to queue up our contribution to a sidewalk improvement project. The design committee reviewed the design and also the application itself. This improvement project is at 115 South Cypress, across from the theater. It's quite a small portion of sidewalk, about 37 feet, so in terms of cost, it is one of our cheaper projects. So with the design committee's recommendation to approve the reimbursement, this cooperative endeavor agreement on file will basically just give each party the understanding moving forward how everyone is financially contributing to the eventual reimbursement. So this is no money up front to the property owner to do the improvements. We only reimburse them after everything is completed. We participate up to a third of a share, so their expected debt would be $20,000. So that divided by 3 is $6,666.67. And this basically allows us to then communicate with the city that we have an interested property owner in downtown, and making it an easy for them to interact with this reimbursement process. So having this agreement on hand before they start just helps every party know how we're financially participating. In the past, we've had issues with there just being like a handshake agreement that we're doing a third share, and there's nothing documented. Then we get to the end of it, and no one is agreeing about participating financially. So this basically just sets it all up so that we all know how we're financially contributing. The amounts are specified. So if you all were to approve this, it would basically then go to the city, so Charles and the mayor, that we have an interested applicant and an opportunity for them to sign the cooperative endeavor agreement to participate in it. They don't anticipate their project being done until, I think this, late 2026. So that's when the actual reimbursement will take place within our next fiscal year.
Did we not just reallocate our sidewalk funds?
For this fiscal year.
Okay.
So this basically, will not be,
It would be in the next fiscal years.
No.
yeah. We do the cooperative endeavor agreement now so that as the project moves forward, they know what the financial contribution is to the improvements.
So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the cooperative endeavor agreement with Rare Vintage LLC in the city of Hammond to fund up to 1/3 share of eligible costs for the sidewalk improvements at 115 South Cypress Street.
Anybody? Do I have a second?
A second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Give me back. Why did this go away? Yeah, it went to like a list, and now it's not going back. I'm like a 90-year-old when it comes to.
You can't say a 5-year-old, they can do it.
Show me where you went. Okay. Oh, show me next time. All right. Real quick question. I know we already voted on that, but just from our, and you may have mentioned it already, I just remember with the sidewalk stuff in the past, there's like part of it's not covered by us. Is it the design? Okay, that was already,
Yeah.
okay, so
So the way
that,
the language is, the eligible costs for sidewalk improvements,
Okay.
our application specifies eligible.
because that was the contention last time, whether that was included or not, wasn't that the deal?
No,
Oh.
not necessarily.
Okay,
It was just, there was no formal documentation of saying how the city or the DED would participate. This is a lower cost, especially for a higher cost project, so usually we're
Right.
looking at around like 30 to 40.
right.
For a third share, but yeah, the application specifies, and that is in the cooperative endeavor agreement specified by the applicant.
Okay, all right. Next.
Trespass?
What's that?
We're E. Let's see.
We're on E, this one.
Yeah, E is review and approve contract with Trepwise to improve organization capacity and transitional support funded by Louisiana Main Street Technical Assistant Grant.
I don't understand what this is.
Okay,
Help me out.
this is new for everyone, probably except John.
Yeah.
John probably doesn't know any technical details around it. So, well, John and Mary, back over the summer, we had an opportunity to apply again for Louisiana Main Street Technical Assistance Grant. So, with that and recognizing that, basically with the structure that we've had over the past 2 years of activating our committees and doing all those types of things, we haven't had a lot of processes that have been adopted with this new structure that we have. So outside of my personal circumstances and the circumstances of the director not being able to be here for a couple of months, that was gonna be the purpose of this consulting proposal, was basically to kind of, especially with our design committee is a little more formally operational, but with our other committees, having a little bit more structure and process to responsibilities, descriptions, how all of those things are documented, but also documenting our processes and procedures at the same time. So in the interim of submitting that application and finding out that I need to be on maternity leave, I was working with a coach and attempting to try to do some of that work, but really, I think what we both came to the conclusion of is that the capacity to kind of document all of our policies and procedures really is going to be best facilitated by a third party who can just like guide us and just like really tell us what to do. So the purpose of this is, I guess, maybe threefold. One, it is to basically it's divided into 3 phases. So they will help us kind of come up with some of my maternity transitional planning. So who is the point of contact for XYZ, documenting those processes of how XYZ needs to take place. A lot of things that might live in my head right now, having the support to actually do all of that work and documenting that. They will help us with our board retreat and planning and doing that facilitation. So everything from our existing work that we're doing right now and basically forecasting for the upcoming year, having some facilitation components with our board retreat in January, and short-term planning, and really seeing, really with our committees, I would say like our residential, our merchant committee, like they're a little, forgive me, Todd, if this is incorrect, but they're a little directionless without my oversight. So really it's kind of like with some of our structural components, how are we making the best of people's time? How are we aligning the things that need to be done with the committee structure that we have and making sure that we're using everyone's time effectively? And furthermore, what can be delegated to committees to maximize our work a little bit more. And then the last phase would basically be just furthering our capacity building. So potentially having, even through all of this, providing some training to staff if needed for certain processes. Like I said, the whole process of documenting, my goal with maternity leave was to document all of our policies and procedures in one thing. And to be honest, like just the capacity to do that is really not there. So depending upon what is needed to basically offset things while I'm away, having training for either board members or staff members that can help alleviate that would be a part of it as well.
So, you can go
I
first.
have a question. So I'm sorry, this is the first I'm hearing of this level of this, which, I understand that it's nice. It's a lot of money, and I don't know if we have budgeted. I know we're all busy, but but you also have a lot of professionals who I think would be willing to help create some of those, not all of it, but I mean, I don't know that, I know committees, when I came on the board, we didn't have committees, right? You just started the committees back, which I think is great, but, I don't know that, I'm just a little.
55,000 is a big number.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
money that is for something that I understand it's important, but I don't know that it's totally necessary. Like I could go through our company's maternity leave manual with all of that, and I'd be happy to share information if it would help, and like how to document things and what the process is. I mean, I'd be happy to sit down with y'all and figure out what that needs to be. I don't know that we need to pay somebody to tell us how
Well-
things need to be documented.
Well, what I wanted to ask is, where are we as far as, do we have, like whatever this would be added to an overall operations manual that we already have? That's, like, we've been working on trying to get,
I basically have
Operation.
an outline right now, which is about 5 pages of just specific tasks. We have certain things that are documented, but we don't have anything in one place.
Right.
So this also is not in our budget. This would be covered by
By the grant.
Louisiana Main Street.
Fully? It would
yes.
fully be covered?
Yes. It is reimbursable, so like we would have to pay it upfront, but then Louisiana Main Street gives us a check after.
but the original purpose of this was when we applied for it, what was the overall use again?
The overall use was having a better organizational structure that also kind of more or less developed out our economic development strategy. So with all the economic development training that I've been doing, some of the things we've talked about with LED and also having the farmers market, basically having just a stronger, full rounded, basically business retention and expansion program, which I know this may not make a lot of sense to y'all, but having a stronger business and retention program, so defining all those processes, what that looks like, how that changes workforce staff, but also assisting with our recruitment efforts. So actually moving into the discipline of economic development. Now, capacity-wise right now, we are not really capable of doing that. So whether that would be, so this is a way to utilize this opportunity that I think better allow, from my opinion as an executive director, allows us to be more organizationally strong, because we will have these things documented, and there's less of a bottleneck with having things defined by person in the office or role and responsibility versus like, can the executive director be there, or who has this knowledge, and we have to have their brain at the table in order for something to make sense. So I know it may seem a little abstract right now, but from my position as the executive director, even from the basic standpoint of having a policies and procedures manual, that's not only about what the staff are doing, but like the question that just came up about, well, what's the difference between a request for proposal and a request for qualifications, and what requires a 3 quotes contract and what requires a bid. Those are all things that need to be documented in terms of a process about how the DDD actually functions.
Right, so it's not just in your head if you go on somewhere and.
Or it's like not just because I know where to look.
Right.
And I know the places that all the information is held. If we want to move in that direction and expanding that component out, I think,
So, but is that kind of thing going to be touched with this?
yes.
That will be touched with
Yes.
this?
So basically, the deliverables here would be that document, that operation manual.
The overall operations manual
Yeah.
for how staff,
Job descriptions,
organization?
Job descriptions, board member descriptions, stronger board member training, because we do have board members that swap out quite often. So especially with having some of those things like transitional plans set, timelines on those types of things.
Will it include like board member, agendas or basic agendas that apply to their board or whatever, like things, like direction for that leader of the board?
Structure foundation.
Yeah, for those in
Yeah,
particular boards?
I mean, like, the goal of all of this would to be from the board of directors to staff to committees. How do all those pieces work together to accomplish outcomes that the downtown development district wants to see?
I mean, this is how I feel about it, is like, this is a big number, and it sounds big, but if it came back truly with a very comprehensive operations manual for the whole damn DDD, that would be great.
So we
Because
put
it's
the
something that,
funds,
because it's something that has not ever been there, and every time if somebody does leave or whatever, it's like they're ground one again. So, but I would want to make damn sure that it's a very extensive, really good thing coming back, you know? Because I felt like we paid for, remember when we paid for evaluations for salary, or what was it?
We had a brief organizational assessment done,
And that was such a terrible expense. I felt like I walked away with nothing.
The deliverable was not good. I mean, basically, all they did was they asked what I did, and they.
It was bad.
What I did, and they put it in a PDF.
Yeah, it was really bad. So that would be my concern is, I mean, that, it's just a big number. I would want to know that
Well, I
it's
think
gonna
the
be.
scope of this work looks more detailed, like, I mean, it's sectioned out.
So where would the money come, so we would have to pay for it?
We'd have to pay
upfront?
for it,
it's
but it gets
gonna be-
reimbursed.
But
by
do we
the-
have the money available to pay
I
for it?
mean, we would have to, we would not have to pay for it all at one time. It's parsed out,
Do we have the money to do that?
We do have the money to do that. I mean,
In
there's-
addition to these other things we've just approved?
yes, I mean, like, I think this most simplest way that I can explain our budget is that, we can be flexible with what we have budgeted overall. Basically, by the end of the fiscal year is where everything gets like reconciled. So with all the unexpected expenses that we have had this year, it is more than what we normally do deal with. But working with them on a time frame, and I mean, Louisiana Main Street usually gives us, they usually pay us back within like 30 days.
So we would pay one invoice and then they would pay us back for that invoice within
Yes.
30 days?
Yeah, so it would be reimbursable by the fee schedule.
and the grant is already approved from them.
Yes, so Louisiana Main Street has already allocated these funds for us to use.
How long is this discovery month 1 to, so it's a 6-month process?
Yes, so I think my email may have cut it off a little bit.
And so for part of this time, you won't even be here, so who are they gonna be discovering from?
So really, it would start now. So December and January is where most of that discovery phase would kind of take place. And then, I mean, at our board retreat in January is where, like, they would kind of come in, there would be more of like a stronger presentation of this is what maternity leave kind of looks like, this is how we're working with the staff and the board and the interim Michelle being away. And having some transitional support for when I come back as well. So it is, what was your question?
My question is that they're doing all this work, but you're not gonna be here if they need something to have an answer or to know what they're, to
So
get the
the-
information, because it's probably, they can only, I'm assuming they can only do as much as they can with what you give them, and they're gonna be requesting stuff, and if you're not here, you know, I just didn't
So
know.
most of that happens now to January.
Okay,
Yeah. So by the time it would come back in April, May, that's when the interim support that they're providing basically for February through April is informed by everything that would take place before I leave, if that makes sense.
okay. What else do y'all think? Thoughts?
I guess I don't have I guess just when you said it originally, some of those small procedural things, I think, you know, I think it's great. I think if the money is there and we have the money to pay for it while we wait to be reimbursed, I think that's fine. But I also think when y'all have questions about some small procedural things and all, you know, lean on your board, on the board. We all own businesses and we're, you know, happy to just, I'm not saying in replacement of this, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know,
Are
I
the-
think it's a good idea to have it in place, but,
So has the challenge has been, I'm assuming, which always is that you're constantly getting the work done, and the time that it takes, you know, with your daily functions of putting out fires and whatever else, when things are happening, you don't necessarily have the time to record it all. That's the challenge, right? To get this into an operations manual and structure it and stuff. So this company is gonna actually be the one documenting everything
Yeah, so
for you.
I'll be working with them very in-depthly, if this is approved, between now and January, to get all that documented, and.
But they're the leverage that you have not been able to step away from your job to even document what you're doing, right? So that's,
Yes, and then there's also other things that come up that are like, as a governmental agency, I mean, there's often times we're like, well, what can we do? Because we're a governmental agency and not everyone is fully abreast on how we have to function as a state agency. And so I think having those things more clearly defined in writing so that things can be referenced.
and they're gonna be doing the research for those things, or you already know those things, or?
I know some of them, but there's other things where it's like, other situations where I'm like, you know, maybe we didn't handle that as well as we could. But really, I think for what, like I said, from a deliverable standpoint, as much as I have living in my head and as much as we don't have documentation of how our really works, and really I think from the perspective of having stronger board training, I mean, I think that we've done a good enough job with some of our regularly occurring committees, but if I'm being honest, if I was not here, what needs to be put on those agendas would not really take place. So I think that there's a lot of, that's not to say that that's a bad thing, but that's just kind of like how the knowledge is kind of.
and I'm make a motion, but I also like to make a comment. I know when Kaylee and Chelsea were still on the board, and they kind of made that little flow chart of the committees, and that Ashley would be in charge of some, and Dara would be in charge of some, like, I don't know if that's happened, but I think we also need to delegate more to these
Yeah.
two very talented ladies, because it doesn't all need to be in your head. So we just need to make sure we do that, delegate, and trust them to do, you know, they should be in charge of those agendas for whichever committees that flow chart showed they were kind of over. So I'm gonna make a motion that we approve this, contract with Trepwise, to improve the organizational capacity and transitional support funded by the Louisiana Main Street Technical Assistant Grant.
Do we have a second?
I'll second. Yes.
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 I can tell you, I started to write an SOP for my business 14 years ago, and it's still not finished yet. So if I had the funds and the capacity to hire someone to do this, my only concern was, can they deliver the product we're looking for? That's the only question I had, yeah.
Well, and I do think that we have to have a little bit more delegation with Ashley and Dara, like when we're talking about the marketing meeting. I don't think you have to do that recap, but like Dara, you could do the recap and send it to me and make sure it's right before it goes to Antoine's. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that delegation's gotta happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, and I think part of this is from a contracting standpoint, like, that's what, making sure that everything is sustained and that from a staff training perspective to a board member that might be transitioning, that is kind of easier established. Because
Sure.
the contract that we have with Antoine is new.
Yeah.
I mean, I want there to be, the whole purpose is so that we have confidence between the board and the staff to be able to do the jobs that they need to do. I think there hasn't been a ton of support to be able to transition them in the way that they need to be transitioned with all these other things that we've got going on. And
Right, but I think, and I gotta go in like 3 minutes, so, but I think just in general, the delegation of the simple tasks, like
Yeah.
the committees and the agendas really needs to happen, to go to them, and they need to be the point person with the committee head, chair, for those simple things, not organizational, not.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is that, I mean, y'all can say from your perspective, if you were to be asked to make an agenda for the marketing meeting, or you were to be asked to make an agenda for the committee, for the design committee meeting, how would you go about doing that?
Well, I would be doing design committee meeting because that would be, when it was discussed, that would fall under you, under the flow chart that was created.
Right,
But
merchant
for
or
merchant or residential, I mean, really, it would be up to the committee chair, have to discuss with Todd or Chance what they felt goes on the agenda, but most of the time, there, like she said, things in her head that need to go on there that we don't know about. So,
From Louisiana Main Street, like, we're not the point of contact for that, so I can't.
Yeah.
There's
I think the
there's-
transfer of that information, or the sharing of that information from you to them will inform them, so eventually they can do that.
Yeah.
Right,
But if
well,
you keep it all in your head, they're never gonna know, they'll
well,
never
that's
be
the
able
whole
to do
purpose
it.
of this, is so that it can all get out there, so that it can be better organized.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had the support in doing.
Right, but not everything's gonna be able to be in this document. If something comes up and someone calls you, maybe it's just an email with, hey, just sharing this information so y'all are aware. You know what I mean? I think just some of that's not, maybe not organizational, that may not be in this document. I do think the document's a good idea, but I mean, just day-to-day things. All right.
All right, review and approve residential committee's use of funds for street and wayfinding signage totaling up to 25,000 of DDG funds. Okay.
Todd, you want to speak on this? one?
Yeah, real simply, we've tried to find ways to use our funds, and we decided that we would take some of our funds and allocate it over to the signing. I don't know what portion of that would be covered by our available funding, but Michelle can better answer that question. But we're all about it, and that the committee was really on board with trying to update the signing on both sides of the tracks to match the downtown
So the
signage.
committee has money?
It does, yeah.
So
And she can tell you more on the
what sign
exact.
is this? Is it the street name?
Street signs, yeah,
Yeah.
the literal street signs, yeah.
specific
Yeah.
one, we
Because one side of the tracks you have the historic one with the tree on it, and then the other side of the tracks you have green signs. So we thought for unification purposes, we'd be glad to spend our money on, this is what the
Have money
committee.
available.
What portion of that? Michelle is available, she
So
can
the way
better answer that
the
question.
residential accounts are allocated, we transitioned that over to a project account a couple of fiscal years ago. So in terms of residential funds, between both sides, because there's an east side and a west side allocation, there's $25,000 with what they have in their project accounts and what is budgeted for this fiscal year. We, just doing the due diligence of seeing like how many signs we would actually have to pay for that transition. That's what the document you have attached in the agenda. The manufacturer of those historic signs, I don't know. Basically, if y'all were to approve this, then it would be us communicating with the streets department to see if there's an old purchase order of where those signs came from, who the manufacturer was, so that we're able to do it. I'm trying to pull up one so y'all can see.
And very frankly, this is not a new expense, it's just a reallocation of
If
funds,
the
yeah.
funding is there, I'd like to, I'll make a motion that we approve the residential committee's use of the funds, as long as the funds are there for the street and wayfinding signs totaling up to $25,000.
All right, I'll second it.
Todd Moore,
Yes.
James Fincham, Mary Buca.
Yes.
Taylor Morgan.
Yes.
John Succi.
Yes. Discussion of January board retreat.
So basically with the timeline for January, we would be having all board members appointed on the 13th. And then if we're keeping this Friday morning schedule, then that would be on Friday 16th at 9. Our retreat usually is longer, so around 4 to 5 hours. Usually going into lunch as well.
What day did you say?
Friday, January 16th.
I will be in Atlanta that
Yeah.
day, I'm sorry.
I'll be
That's
prepping, I'll be at a conference.
That's the
in
only
Orleans.
Friday.
Can we do the following, the 23rd?
Yeah, I'll be out the 16th and the 30th.
Yeah,
But I
same.
can do the 23rd.
So do y'all want to keep this Friday board meeting schedule that we've established? It seems that might not be working.
Yeah, I can do it another day. Kayla will have the.
Yeah, I mean, I can do another day, but I can't be in a meeting for 2 hours. So, I mean, we gotta keep these tight and efficient, like, as much as possible to an hour. And I can work it out during the morning, so.
I'm good every day except for Wednesday evening. That's my work day.
I mean, look, the meetings are problematic for me in general. It's the job I have. So, I mean, I'm making it work as much as I possibly can, so.
So if that's the case, so why not evenings?
Huh?
What?
I never said anything about evenings. The
Okay.
evenings were fine
I
for me,
think
but,
Chance and Todd and I
Yeah.
weren't like in the evenings, but I can
Yeah.
do evenings. It's just not my preference, but I can do
Right,
it.
because you'd like to go home eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, working hours are a problem for me because when I'm not working, I'm not.
Yeah, yeah,
available.
yeah.
So, I'm,
Well, so I guess for right now, when we're talking to potential board, because potential board members like to know what the meeting schedule is, so I can just tell them that right now it's to be determined. But can we confirm that everyone's available on the 23rd at 9 a.m.?
Yes.
I am, yes.
23rd
Or
of January.
Take off?
This month or
Or-
next month?
January 23rd.
January. Or if a Saturday
Do we have anything on the agenda
retreat
for
would be
January
more
23rd?
preferred.
No.
Next month, question mark. Do we have anything on the agenda for January 23rd?
Friday the 23rd will work for me. Are you saying you need 4 hours on that day?
Usually our retreats are between 4 to 5 hours.
I could do the 24th if needed. That's the only Saturday in January I could do it. And y'all, I have to run because I have to meet with Oshner, but whatever y'all choose, I'm available on the 23rd or the 24th.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I can make either of those work.
Do you want to do a Saturday?
I prefer the Friday, but that's me.
Same.
Every day is,
Prefer to do it on a Friday.
You prefer doing Friday?
every day is Monday to me. It doesn't matter. I just need to make sure I don't have anything on the date.
16th, we have a big conference in New Orleans, and the last weekend I'm out of town, so the 23rd would be really the only functional
So
weekend.
let's just move it to the 23rd
Okay.
and we'll be in touch. We'll just, y'all will have to decide a regular meeting schedule.
Okay, and do you want to try do you want to, not that I didn't show up at 8:30 today, but do you want to try 8:30 just to give us like an extra half-hour buffer? I mean, I know these retreats tend to be pretty extensive. Do you think you've got enough time, 4 hours?
We can, 4 hours is fine.
Okay, so 8:30 or 9?
I mean, we can start early. I'm fine with that.
23rd's clear. I just checked with my calendar.
Let's do 8:30 to
I actually
1,
have to go
8:30 to
too.
1, 8:30 to 1 to give a half-hour buffer. We'll try and make it quicker.
Okay. I'm available.
All right. I gotta be in Covington.
All right, meeting adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, I'll text Mary.
All right, you guys. I think it's a Saturday, right? Is that a Saturday?
Friday.
Friday's the 23rd?
Yep.
23rd, thank you. All right, good.
All right.
I owe, so off to work I go.
How's it been with your wife retired?
It's been quite helpful, actually, yes. Once she learns all of what I do, because she has no idea what I do in the course of the day, she'll be fine. So far, she's been helping me with invoices. And,
So as I
things.
say, she's been used to doing so much probably paperwork pushing with the medical.
But I do it all.
Yeah,
So
so
now
you-
to get something off my plate's good. I think maybe I'll go down to a 4-day work week instead of 7, which would be really nice.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. So she'll just take some things off my plate.
Yeah, that's good. That's
It'll
really
give me
good.
some time to develop the website. We've been doing really, really well with the website,
Yeah.
the cigar shop.
Yeah, who knows? It might help you grow even more, man.
I'm
Having
all
her
about
back.
it.
So
All about it.
it's great.
She doesn't need to go back to work. I mean,
Yeah.
We made some smarter investments when we
Yeah.
we're okay. And she's 62 in January, so she can file for Social Security.
Yeah, and it's awesome she got to get it out of
It's
her
awesome.
before early.
It wasn't intentional, but I'm glad for her. She's happy now. I think she's really happy.
Yeah,
Her
awesome.
happiness counts. Good to see you, brother.
Awesome. All right. See
Have
you.
a good day. Keep in touch. Let me know if you need anything.
See you later.
Have a great day.
You too.
And Merry Christmas.
It is indeed cold here.
Now, wait. DDD.
I just moved it, but I'll change the time and stuff. I just moved it to the right date.
Okay, because I was putting it on my calendar, but you're gonna send a calendar invite to the right date.
Yeah. I just moved our regular.
Okay, then I'm gonna remove